Liverpool ready to challenge Premier League rivals in £42 million transfer race, natural leader. Darwin Núñez has already hinted at why he wants to leave Liverpool this summer, as the Saudi move finally gains momentum. Journalist reveals Liverpool's stance on Luis Diaz amid Barcelona interest. Welcome, my fellow Red supporter. Let's get into the latest Liverpool updates. Liverpool has no intention of sitting idly by while Chelsea moves forward alone in the pursuit of Ajax's 19-year-old defender, Jorel Hato. Although the Blues have been active behind the scenes, the Reds board has been closely monitoring the young defender's situation, as he's attracted attention from several Premier League clubs. According to a report by Caught Offside, a source close to the negotiations, who chose to remain anonymous, confirmed that Chelsea has already initiated contact with Ajax to discuss a potential transfer for Hato. However, Liverpool, along with two other Big Six clubs, is not willing to give Stamford Bridge a free run in the race. The search for a new defender intensified at Anfield after the failed attempt to sign Dean Huijsen, who chose Real Madrid instead. As a result, focus shifted back to Hato, a player previously tracked by the club's scouting team. According to Fabrizio Romano, Liverpool's officials are keeping a close eye on the development of this deal, even though Chelsea is currently considered to be in the lead. However, there's a sense of caution. Waiting too long could allow other competitors, such as Arsenal and Newcastle, who are also monitoring the situation, to step in. Ajax is expected to demand around €50 million, approximately £42.1 million, to release the player. Although reluctant, the Dutch club seems aware that it may be difficult to keep him much longer. Despite his young age, Hato is far from inexperienced. The centre-back, who can also play as a left-back, has already played over 100 matches for Ajax's senior team and has 6 caps for the Dutch national team. His profile fits Liverpool's defensive needs well: versatile, mature, and with a strong understanding of the game. Kevin Lux, Transfermarkt's content manager in the Netherlands, described Hato as a natural leader and someone with all the qualities to become a world-class defender. Moreover, stats from FBref show he ranked among the top 1% of European fullbacks last season in passing accuracy. He also excelled in aerial duels, ranking in the 88th percentile for his position. With all these credentials, Hato represents a promising reinforcement, especially considering his relatively accessible cost in today's market and his on-field maturity. In other words, he's the type of player Liverpool tends to prioritize: young, talented, tactically versatile, and with room to grow. Currently, Richard Hughes, the Reds' new sporting director, appears more focused on potential moves for Florian Wirtz and Milos Kerkez. However, a future bid for Hato is not ruled out and could become a priority, especially if it means outmaneuvering a direct rival like Chelsea. If the Blues falter, Liverpool will be ready to act. There's no unnecessary rush, but also no intention of leaving the path clear. Saudi Arabia continues to solidify its strategy of luring big European football names with massive offers and attractive contracts. Among the potential Saudi targets this summer, 3 Liverpool forwards are on the radar: Diogo Jota, Luis Diaz, and Darwin Núñez, the latter being the most likely candidate for a move. Núñez's case, in particular, has been gaining traction behind the scenes. The 25-year-old Uruguayan striker was already close to leaving Anfield in January when Al Nassr submitted 2 official bids to Liverpool. Both were rejected by the Reds board, mainly due to lack of time to find a proper replacement during the winter window. At the time, the club made a point of keeping the player, but signs of dissatisfaction from Núñez began to grow. Sources close to the club now indicate that Núñez's desire to leave not only remains, but has intensified. The latest update, brought by journalist Santi Auna, confirms that Al Hilal representatives have made direct contact with the player's camp. According to Auna, Núñez is open to a move to Saudi football, which marks a new stage in a potential deal that's starting to take shape. One curious detail reinforces the idea that Núñez's interest is genuine. An old video that resurfaced on social media shows him alongside Luis Diaz in a YouTube interview with Pro Direct Soccer. In it, Diaz jokes about Núñez having 5 cars. The Uruguayan replies lightheartedly, "I need more money. Saudi, come on Saudi." While said jokingly, the comment now seems to reveal his true intentions amid growing transfer speculation. The main draw of the Saudi League is clear: astronomical salaries, often tax-free, that far exceed offers from most European clubs. For many players, it represents a tempting opportunity to secure financial stability quickly. And Nunez appears to be no exception. Luis Diaz is also a Saudi target, especially for Al Hilal. However, Liverpool has set a high price tag for the Colombian, around £100 million. This makes a potential deal more complex for now. Diogo Jota, while on Saudi watch lists, has yet to receive any formal approaches. Nunez, whose performances have fluctuated over recent seasons, seems to be at the center of attention. Despite arriving with high expectations after a brilliant season at Benfica, he has faced criticism for inconsistency, particularly in finishing, something that divided opinions among fans and analysts. It's a delicate situation for both the club and the player. On one hand, there's recognition of his talent and potential. On the other, a growing sense that both sides might be ready to part ways. If Al Hilal submits an offer close to what was rejected in January, Liverpool might seriously consider accepting it this time. If confirmed, the transfer would mark the end of a promising journey that, while showing flashes of brilliance, never fully lived up to expectations. It would also reinforce the growing trend of Middle Eastern clubs becoming viable and increasingly attractive destinations for players in their prime. While Liverpool basks in the glory of their first Premier League title since 2020, focus quietly shifts to Arne Slot's first full summer in charge. One of the most pressing issues is the future of Colombian winger Luis Diaz, whose situation sparked deep analysis from David Lynch during his chat with Dave Davis for Anfield Index. With Barcelona watching and Saudi clubs showing interest, the 27-year-old is clearly at a crossroads. In a press interview, Lynch revealed, "This tells us he's assessing his options and seeing what's out there." This wasn't a cryptic message behind closed doors. Diaz himself admitted to talking with other clubs, a decision that naturally fuels speculation about his commitment and Liverpool's stance. However, this isn't a saga driven by resentment or tension. Liverpool's position, as Lynch described it, is calm and composed. They have no intention of actively selling the Colombian, but they also don't plan to tie him down with a new contract. All parties have a decision to make. Liverpool won't offer him a new deal, so if he wants more money, a club will have to pay a high fee to get him. This financial reality is crucial. Barcelona may be deeply interested, but their well-documented economic problems could complicate any serious bid for Diaz. Saudi clubs, with deep pockets, could easily meet Liverpool's asking price. But whether Diaz sees playing in the Saudi Pro League as the next step in his career is another matter. Despite the noise surrounding his future, Diaz remains a key asset under Arne Slot. His performances were crucial to Liverpool's title-winning campaign, and there's no desire to lose him unless the offer is right. Liverpool is not offering Luis Diaz to the market and wouldn't mind keeping him, recognizing his value as a core squad member. Even with a potential squad overhaul under Slot, losing Diaz would require an expensive and difficult replacement. As David Lynch pointed out, replacing him would demand a major investment, someone like Anthony Gordon. The club's stance, in line with Michael Edwards' philosophy, is strategic and rational. No rush to sell and a focus on maximizing value, either financially or on the pitch. Liverpool won't accept just £50 million and won't fear losing him for free in a few years, because ideally, they'd win more trophies in that time. This long-term vision shows confidence in Slot's ability to continue delivering success and perhaps organically attract top replacements. That kind of internal faith is what separates strong clubs from reactive ones. Diaz's potential exit wouldn't be without complications. Barcelona's admiration is real, but they'd need to move mountains to fund it. The Saudi offer might include huge salaries, but it's unclear if Diaz sees that as his next step. For now, Liverpool remains in control, keeping a player they highly value, but will only part with if the price is fair. This isn't a summer where Liverpool has to sell. It's a summer where the player truly has to want to leave, and a buying club must be willing to pay big. Anything short of that, and Diaz will stay to fight for more titles at Anfield. Thanks for watching until the end. See you next time.